Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and welcome to a short replay sent in by Moonbear. He wanted to show off what he called one of the best teammates he's ever had. Now this would be a random squad mate, and that is going to be the T92 with the green name tag that will be helping out Moonbear quite a bit in this battle. So, we're already a little ways in, and Moonbear is in a little bit of a compromised position. He's been listening to enemy vehicles moving around him, and if you turn up that stereo sound, you can hear the enemy moving off to his left, so he decides to position his gun that way. The gun handling on the Super Hellcat is quite good and quite handy for that. Unfortunately, he takes a shot from a T-34-85 that came in a pincer attack, and yet he's able to counter and begin to reload the gun. The amazing one-shot ability of the American short 90mm coming through for him there, where his situational awareness was pushed beyond the normal limit. Obviously, no name tags in realistic battles, so it was very clever of him to spot that Soviet tank destroyer sneaking his way on in, getting a second kill through the bushes. He's already off to a good start. If you check the map, his ally in the T-92 is completely locking down the other road off to Moonbear's right, securing that entire flank and all of the open field out beyond that position. A very strong point to hold, and yet also a hotly contested one, with enemies very capable of overrunning you, as they're starting to do for Moonbear here. Flashes of an enemy around the Panther, trying to get his gun on target, but not turned enough. Someone shoots into the buildings there to no avail, and that green bar has moved up to support Moonbear, knowing exactly what's going on, and takes down the Panther in style. Beautiful repositioning on behalf of Moonbear's ally in this battle, and possibly saving his life. In fact, quite likely facing a Panther head-on is scary business. Moonbear thinks about pushing up, but decides to be the better teammate, staying out of the way of T-92 as he finds another place to lock down, working in tandem with his very cooperative teammate. The quick reload and the good senses on the T-92 and its pilot coming through for him in this battle. This T-92 player is going to have a fantastic match, and Moonbear is going to be a part of that. Even so, not a whole lot going on from Moonbear's point of view. It really is about the good support he's getting from his teammate, and looking at the map, you can see that T-92 has set himself up in another ambush position. He's ready to catch people as they go around through the buildings, avoiding the road that Moonbear is locking down. Speaking of, is that an enemy Tiger? Moonbear now choosing his target carefully. Tiger on the move, has fairly poor gun handling, but now that he's set up in a position, in fact, taking a shot at Moonbear's exposed cannon barrel, that's gonna cost him. Now is a great time to call for help again. T-92 set up down the road in a low profile position. Will he be able to take down the Tiger before it can run down the crippled Moonbear? Here he comes, and there he goes. A beautiful ammo rack shot, taking down the Tiger in style. T-92 Senpai for the win. By this point, Moonbear has been saved at least twice, already picking up a couple of kills and some battle activity. The T-92 raking in the rewards with, I think, around 4 or 5 kills already by this point in the match, and it's not going to stop there. Moonbear impressed, very much so. You have a good teammate there, bud. Now comes a sort of sticky part in the match. The enemy has been pushed back, but they definitely still have respawns, and to push forward at this point can be rather risky. Of course, it's impossible for Moonbear. Excuse me, I'm stumbling over the sores on my tongue. It's really painful. But I got some kind of flu, and then that commonly ends up with sores in my mouth afterward. It's gross, and I hate it. Anyway, taking some shots from a wrpl. The turret armor on the Super Hellcat is not absolutely horrible. Excuse me. You can see the mantlet absorbing a lot of shots from that whirlwind, giving Moonbear the chance to one-shot his enemy for his third kill. What is the teammate doing? It looks like, is he holding down the C point? I can't quite see the map very well. He may have died. He might be dead. Tiny piece of rubble absorbing the entire 90mm round. Thanks, Gaijin. And Moonbear now needs to find a safe place to reload. The Slugger, not concerned at all. M36 GMC, ready to take down all comers. Moonbear carefully peering into the smoke, lining up his shot from third-person camera. As he already comes in, he decides to reposition once again, and that is one of the strengths of the Super Hellcat. A fantastic 6.3 American tank destroyer, a premium that I have very much enjoyed playing over the years, and of course you can tell that because I've made this beautiful Burger Cat custom camouflage for it, one of my favorites. In any event, things are now starting to wind down in the match. Moonbear has been carried through the rougher parts of the battle, and yet the enemy is still very much able to bring the fight to their attackers. The battle may be essentially over, but the casualties are going to roll in for a little bit longer, and missing the good mantlet shot on the Panther puts Moonbear in a very tricky situation, trying to retreat, and he gets taken down. That's going to be just about the end for him in this match. And now we come to let's see, ConeOfArc. Sorry, I had to think he's not Mr. Steve anymore. But ConeOfArc in another French 6.7 lightweight vehicle. This one firing heat rounds that can pen 320 millimeters of RHA. Not bad at all. Of course, any twig, stick, leaf, bush, or imagination can cause the round to detonate prematurely. Gaijin, you gotta get these things to think about baseball a little bit, because they are going off way too soon. It seems like any scenery these days can trigger heat FS, and yet on any other map that's not such an issue. But this is not any other map now, is it? Look at all this foliage. You gotta machine gun everything before you can take a shot at anything. Everyone positioning themselves. You see the round detonating on a bush and not even destroying the bush, because why would it, right? Why would it? It looks like good old Coney boy is gonna be in for an uphill battle on this map. And yet, he's in a good vehicle to do it. These armored cars are a lot of fun now that they have significantly improved mobility and handling than they had when they were first introduced. And of course, this one, new to the game. The only thing it really lacks is a stabilizer, being that armored cars have essentially no armor anyway, so that's something you should be used to. And the cannon is certainly not lacking in any regard other than bush penetrative qualities. But you know, that's just one of those things that you have to work around in War Thunder. Another thing that possibly holds this particular vehicle back, other than the stiff competition, you'll see a lot of very powerful American heavy tanks bristling with 50 cals that can shoot straight through your armor, and big, huge, naff-off derp guns that can shoot through every dang thing inside and beside your tank. Cone, coming in for the attack, gets taken down with no kills and a base cap, and his first death. It's gonna keep going, and it's gonna keep rolling. And again, the impenetrable bushes, but this time in the AMX 13. Is it the AMX? I'm pretty sure it is. I'm a little rusty on my French tank names. With the S... What are they? The SS something rockets. Anyway, the first generation ATGMs, I think they have under 2 kilometers of range, somewhere around there, but plenty for most tank engagements, especially when you're in a light tank. The AMX 13 being a delightful, nimble vehicle with an autoloader that's not horrible and is capable of loading armor-piercing rounds in rapid supply, giving Cone a lot more ability to punch through the bush armor that protects most of his enemies, and yet also the enemy forces concealed behind the very same bushes. This map full of avenues to advance and open fields to fear and to make use of. Cone being aggressive here. One thing you can never claim that he is in his matches is boring. The man does not sit still. He goes from one firing position to another, taking shots, taking lives, and taking charge of the match along the way. The slugger, this time the target of our hero's aggression, a second round, slamming through the turret, shrapneling into the remaining crew member, and taking down the American tank destroyer. The slugger, not a bad tank destroyer at 5.7, but not at 5.7 in this match. Cone lining up his second target, going for the cannon breach as you do. With a 12-round autoloader, you always have another shot ready to go until you've spent them all. And the AMX 13, a nimble, powerful vehicle in its own regard, only lacking in a stabilizer. Not a ton of vehicles having one at 6.7 outside of the British, so that not too terrible. Decent gun handling, not the best light tank mobility, but far from being the worst, and better than a lot of the competition in the terms of heavy and medium tanks, especially on rough terrain. A low, I should say, a rather small profile, but a bit tall as well, giving with it the advantages and disadvantages that you have with a higher profile turret, able to peek over the terrain and fire that autoloader into the enemy, and also susceptible to attack. The AMX 13, certainly not the most survivable of vehicles, but picking up a second base cap already, and having secured 2 kills, he has at least enough spawn points to respawn again if things go south, and in this match indeed they will. You are shortly to see. The enemy team, Americans, always aggressive, always with big, huge, broad, fat lineups at 6.7, and another one of those incredible 6.7 vehicles, the American Premium T114, unable to make a difference in this match with his fantastic autoloader. Again, another heat round lobber, almost an anti-tank grenade, I think they're called, and yet no need to sit on nomenclature, as the vehicle was quickly taken down by a single shot to the center of mass, aiming for the breach again, following up with a missile shot and taking down the crew in a beautiful show of fury, aggression, control, and knowledge of his vehicle's weaponry, showing why the SS-11 guided rockets can be such a useful addition to a light scout tank. A mix of anti-tank missiles and heavy cannon seen early here on the 6.7 AMX 13 and found to be so effective later on in the higher tier armored fighting vehicles. The AMX-13, a scout tank with just about everything at its disposal, other than armor, of course. Yet, as you can see, deadly, powerful, sneaky, mobile, and versatile. There's almost nothing a fully loaded AMX-13 can't take down with ease when it has a shot at the enemy who doesn't know you exist, and that's exactly what Cone has been able to accomplish here, having quickly picked up 3 base caps, well, almost 3 base caps, and 6 kills, yet at the cost of a death already, and more to come as his team will be unable to hold the field over the course of this battle, something we are all going to enjoy witnessing together. Sometimes you just can't win, and sometimes the carnage just never ends. Vive la mort as we push forward with this interesting design for an AMX-13, a revolution waiting to happen that never really saw its day in the sun outside the game of War Thunder. And yet, if you're looking for a 6.7 French premium, the AMX-13 is a fantastic light tank in the regular tech tree at 6.3, and strapping on 4 rockets, or guided missiles I should say, and upping its BR is certainly well worth the effort. Oh, a shot there does take down the gunner, and another missile takes down the remainder of the crew and detonates the ammo rack just for swag points. Again, you do not want to try and dig out an entrenched AMX-13. The thing has incredible firepower, especially for a 6.7 light tank, and there's almost nothing it can't face from the front. Once again with the old 1-2. Learning to use the missiles and use them well. Something well demonstrated here as effective by ConeOfArc as he defends, we'll call this a forward colony of the French Empire, I don't know, from the advancing American forces. We must have smelled oil. We're here for your terrorists, and a drone strike takes him down. Now, in another vehicle that has an incredible power potential, and yet bouncing his first shot off the hull of the T-29, T-34, can't quite tell, getting taken down immediately. Now on his 4th life, with enemies driving straight through his spawn, and a, what is that, FV whatever the hell it is. A couple of shots from the, I think this is the Char 25T if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken. Yet another 6.7 French light tank, this with a slightly upgraded cannon over the AMX-13, a slightly lower profile and slightly better mobility. All of these improvements to the base design, the primary concept, and I think it may even have a little bit more effective armor from the front, but it's hardly enough to matter at this battle rating against just about anything you would face. Maybe you bounce 1 or 2 more wrpl shots, who's to say. Yet Cone nicely placing his shots here, taking down another pair of enemy tanks. Again, a hard fought battle, huge amounts of activity, and price paid by ConeOfArc as he progresses this fight. A 4th base cap, 9 kills, 3 deaths already, and the match now winding to a close. His team holding the field currently, but at a serious disadvantage in terms of points. Spotting vehicles, taking his shots, getting kills, getting activity, and always in a ground vehicle. This is a man who is playing the meta to a T. He showed us some beautiful footwork with the AMX-13, and he is just outnumbered and outgunned. That's going to just about wind it up for this one, and it was a great pleasure to share these two matches with you. Moonbear with some of the best teamwork he's ever seen, and ConeOfArc on that grind to defend French sovereign territories and their foreign assets as well. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed these two replays, and I encourage you to send in your own. I've been doing doubles now to try and get all of the replays that I've recorded made into a video for you all to enjoy, and I've been having a total blast myself. Catch you guys in the next one. Oh, and feel free to send in those replays. Link to my Discord in the description below. That is the best place to reach me. Bye-bye.